The painful truth is this: most men do not lose women because they do not know the perfect line. They lose women because their energy is begging before their mouth even speaks. They want the magic sentence, the perfect text, the one phrase that makes her fall in love, the one move that makes her choose him over every other man. But a woman does not fall for words that are hiding neediness. She does not feel safe with a man who is trying to perform confidence while his whole body is asking, "Do you like me yet?" And before you hear anything else, understand this clearly: no sentence can make any woman yours. A woman is not property. Love is not control. Attraction is not a trick. And if you enter dating trying to make someone belong to you, you will either push her away or attract the kind of relationship that slowly destroys your peace. The real secret is not what you say to her. The real secret is who you are when you say it, because the same words can sound powerful from a grounded man and desperate from a needy man. I like spending time with you can feel confident from one man and clingy from another. Let's go out can feel masculine from one man and weak from another. I'm not available for confusion can feel calm from one man and bitter from another. The words matter, but the frame matters more. And by the end of this, you will understand why women are not moved by perfect lines as much as they are moved by emotional control, self respect, clarity, calm confidence, and a man whose life does not orbit around her approval. Because the goal is not to chase a woman into loving you. The goal is to become the kind of man whose presence feels steady, whose attention has value, whose words carry weight, and whose absence is actually felt because he was never needy with his presence in the first place. Most men approach women from hunger. They want her beauty, her attention, her reply, her validation, her soft side, her approval, her affection. And because they want it so badly, they start moving like men who are already afraid of losing something they do not even have yet. They text too much, they compliment too hard, they explain too early, they try to impress. They try to be available every second. They answer instantly. They make her mood the center of the day. They try to prove they are different from other men before she has even earned that emotional energy. And then they wonder why she starts pulling away. Because attraction does not grow when a man is trying to force certainty before trust has had time to breathe. A woman can feel when you are not speaking to connect, but speaking to get chosen. She can feel when every joke is secretly a test. She can feel when every compliment is secretly asking for something back. She can feel when you are not relaxed around her because you have already made her approval too important. That pressure is heavy, and pressure kills natural attraction. A grounded man is different. He does not speak like he is auditioning. He speaks like he is present. He does not try to convince her he is valuable. He lives like he already knows he is. He does not chase the woman into liking him. He creates a calm space where connection can either grow naturally or reveal that it is not there. That is masculine confidence, not loud, not arrogant, not controlling. Calm. A man who is calm around a woman communicates something powerful without saying much. He says, "I am interested, but I am not desperate. I enjoy you, but I do not need to own you. I can lead, but I do not need to force. I can walk towards you, but I can also walk away with respect." That balance is rare. Most men are either too needy or too cold, too available or too avoidant, too eager or too bitter, too emotional or too detached. But a mature man stands in the middle, warm but not hungry, clear but not controlling, interested but not attached to the outcome, honest but not emotionally flooding. That is what makes a woman relax. Because women do not only listen to what you say, they feel what you are needing from them. If you need her to validate your masculinity, she will feel pressure. If you need her to repair your loneliness, she will feel pressure. If you need her to prove you are worthy, she will feel pressure. If you need her to make your life exciting because your own life is empty, she will feel pressure. That is why the first rule is not say this. The first rule is build a life that makes your words believable. If your life has no direction, your flirting will feel like distraction. If your discipline is weak, your confidence will sound fake. If your emotions control you, your calm words will not last under pressure. If you have no standards, your compliments will feel cheap because you give them to anyone who gives you attention. A woman can enjoy attention, but she respects attention that has value. Your attention has value only when you do not give it out from desperation. A man who gives everything too quickly teaches people that access to him is easy. A man who compliments every woman the same way makes his words lose weight. A man who becomes attached before anything real has been built makes his presence feel unstable. So before you ask, what do I say to her? Ask, what kind of man is speaking? That question changes everything. If the man speaking is needy, even the perfect words sound weak. If the man speaking is grounded, simple words become powerful. You do not need to say complicated things. You need to speak from a place of calm self respect. For example, when you like a woman, do not hide behind endless small talk forever. A weak man waits, overthinks, becomes her emotional friend, secretly wants more, then gets hurt when she does not read his mind. A clear man says, I enjoy talking to you. Let's grab coffee this week. Simple, direct, respectful, no begging, no pressure, no emotional drama. If she says yes, good. Make a plan. If she says no or gives vague energy, you stay calm. You do not punish her. You do not chase. You do not try to convince her. You do not write a paragraph asking why. You simply accept reality. That is attractive because it shows you can handle an answer. Most men cannot handle an answer. They can only handle yes. If she says maybe, they chase. If she says she is busy, they try harder. If she replies slowly, they panic. If she pulls back, they over explain. This is why women test your emotional stability, sometimes consciously, sometimes not. They want to know if your confidence is real or if it only exists when everything goes your way. A man who becomes unstable the moment he does not get the reaction he wanted is not confident, he is dependent. And dependency is not attractive. Now, here's the second rule: stop trying to win her with constant availability. Availability feels good at first, but too much availability without a real bond can make your attention feel cheap. If she texts, you answer instantly every time. If she wants to talk, you drop everything. If she cancels, you immediately offer five more options. If she becomes distant, you chase harder. You think you are showing interest, but you may be showing that your life is too empty. A man with direction is not rude, but he is not endlessly available. He has a life. He has work, he has training, he has responsibilities, he has sleep to protect, he has goals, he has people, he has faith or inner discipline. He has a future that cannot stop every time a woman sends a message. That does not mean you ignore her. It means you do not abandon your life to impress her. If you are busy, you reply when you are free. If you have plans, you keep them. If you are training, you train. If you are working, you work. If it is late and you know you make emotional decisions at night, you do not start a deep conversation that will steal your peace. This is not playing hard to get. This is being hard to distract. That is different. A man who is hard to distract feels strong because he has direction. And direction is one of the most attractive things a man can have. Not because women want a man who ignores them, but because a man with direction does not feel like he is asking a woman to become his whole purpose. That is a heavy burden to place on anyone. Now, here's the third rule: make her feel seen without becoming needy. A lot of men think women only want compliments about beauty. They say, You're beautiful, you're gorgeous, you're so pretty. And there is nothing wrong with a sincere compliment, but if that is all you notice, you sound like every other man who is reacting only to her appearance. A deeper man notices character, he notices effort, he notices energy, he notices how she thinks, he notices how she handles life. Instead of only saying, You look good, he might say, I like how calm you are when you explain things, or you have a strong way of looking at life, or you're easy to talk to, that's rare, or I like that you actually think before you answer. Those words land differently because they are specific, but again, the energy matters. If you say it because you want something, it feels like a tactic. If you say it because it is true, it feels grounded. Sincerity is attractive, performance is not. And there is a difference between making a woman feel seen and putting her on a pedestal. Seeing her means you notice her, pedestal means you place her above yourself. A woman may enjoy being admired, but she cannot respect a man who worships her before he even knows her. When you put her above you, you create pressure and imbalance. You start hiding your opinions. You agree too much. You become afraid to challenge her. You laugh at things you do not find funny. You avoid honesty because you fear losing her approval. That is not love, that is self abandonment. A grounded man can appreciate a woman without shrinking himself. He can say, I like your energy, and still keep his standards. He can say, You look beautiful, and still not become desperate. He can show interest without acting like she is the prize and he is lucky to be noticed. Both people should be discovering each other, not one man begging to be accepted. Now, here's the fourth rule: Do not chase a woman who is giving you confusion. This is where many men lose their power. She replies warmly one day and cold the next. She says she wants to see you, but never makes time. She flirts and disappears. She says she likes you, but keeps everything vague. She wants attention, but avoids clarity. She gives just enough hope to keep you attached, but not enough effort to make you feel respected. A needy man tries harder. A grounded man steps back because confusion is also communication. If she is unclear after you have been clear, that tells you something. If she gives low effort after you have shown real interest, that tells you something. If she only wants you when you pull away, that tells you something. If she enjoys your attention but avoids responsibility, that tells you something. Do not keep asking for the truth when the pattern is already speaking. Sometimes the pattern is the answer. A strong man can say, I like you, but I value consistency. If that is not where you are, I understand. Then he steps back. No anger, no begging, no emotional punishment, just standards. That is how you protect your self respect because the goal is not to get any woman. The goal is to choose the right woman. That distinction matters. A desperate man wants any woman who makes him feel wanted. A mature man wants a woman whose character matches his peace. A desperate man asks, how do I make her like me? A mature man asks, is she good for the life I am building? A desperate man tries to be chosen. A mature man also chooses. That is power. Now, let us talk about rejection because if you are afraid of rejection, you will behave in ways that create rejection. You will hesitate too long. You will become indirect. You will pretend to be a friend when you want more. You will overthink every message. You will try to be perfect. You will hide your interest until it becomes awkward, or you will become overly intense because you are trying to lock in certainty before she changes her mind. Both are weak. A grounded man accepts that rejection is part of dating. Not every woman will like you. Not every connection will grow. Not every message will get the response you want. Not every date will become something deeper. And that is okay. Rejection does not make you less of a man. How you respond to rejection reveals your level as a man. If you insult her, you are weak. If you beg, you are weak. If you keep pushing after she is clear, you are weak. If you act bitter and start hating women, you are weak. But if you can say, no problem, I wish you well, and keep your dignity, you become stronger. Because a man who can handle rejection with grace becomes more confident over time. He is not terrified of women's answers. He is not trapped by one person's opinion. He does not need every woman to choose him because his value does not depend on universal approval. That is attractive. A man who can hear no and stay respectful is stronger than a man who only acts kind when he thinks he can get something. Now, here is the practical 7 day reset, and this applies whether you are heartbroken, dating, trying to rebuild confidence, or trying to stop chasing women who do not choose you clearly. For 7 days, do not message a woman first from panic. Do not check her stories to see if she misses you. Do not ask mutual friends about her. Do not post to get her attention. Do not make emotional decisions at night. Do not reread old messages until your chest hurts. Do not send a soft message when what you really want is reassurance. Put that energy into training, work, money, sleep, discipline, faith, emotional control, and rebuilding your identity. Train your body even when your mind is heavy. Clean your room even when your emotions feel messy. Fix your sleep because tired men make weak decisions. Eat properly because heartbreak and anxiety drain your focus. Walk when the urge to check hits. Write what you want to say, but do not send it from panic. Put your phone away before midnight. Build your day before your emotions build it for you. This is not about pretending you do not care. It is about proving that attraction does not own you. Every time you do not chase, you rebuild self trust. Every time you do not check, you rebuild control. Every time you choose your routine while your emotions are loud, you become stronger. Confidence is built by keeping promises to yourself. You said you would not beg, do not beg. You said you would not chase, do not chase. You said you would not abandon your standards, do not abandon them. That is how a man becomes solid. And a solid man is attractive because he does not need to perform strength, he has it. Now, if you want to know what to actually say to a woman, keep it simple. Speak clearly, lead gently, respect her answer. If you are interested, say, I enjoy your energy. Let's get coffee this week. If she says yes, make a clear plan. If she says maybe, do not chase the maybe. If she says she is busy but does not offer another time, step back. If she replies with effort, meet effort. If she replies with crumbs, do not overfeed the connection. If she shows interest, be warm. If she shows confusion, be calm. That is how mature attraction works. You do not need to flutter with attention. You do not need to send 10 compliments. You do not need to text all day. You do not need to become her therapist before you even know if she respects you. You do not need to prove you are different from every man in her past. You need to show up as yourself, speak clearly, observe her effort, and keep your life moving. The right woman will not need you to destroy your peace to prove your interest. She will respect your direction. She will respond to your clarity. She will appreciate your consistency. She will feel safe around your emotional control, and she will not require you to become weak to keep her attention. Now, if she pulls away, your response matters. Most men panic. They think, "What did I do wrong?" They reread the conversation. They check the last message. They wonder if they said too much. They wonder if another man is involved. They start trying to fix what may not even be broken. A grounded man does not panic at distance. He observes. Maybe she is busy. Maybe she is unsure. Maybe her interest is low. Maybe she has other things going on. Maybe she is not the one. He does not create a whole story and then act from fear. He gives space. He keeps his life moving. He does not overtext. He does not beg. He does not punish. He lets the energy reveal itself. If she comes back with effort, he meets it calmly. If she stays distant, he accepts the information and moves on. That is how you keep your power, because you cannot force someone into closeness. You can only create conditions where closeness can grow if both people want it. That is maturity. Now, if she comes back after silence, stay calm. A lot of men rebuild a little strength, then lose it the moment she returns. She sends, "Hey," and they become the old version instantly. They reply too fast. They write too much. They ask if she missed them. They try to get certainty. They open the whole door because one message gave them hope. Do not be that man. A small message is not a full return. A "hey" is not accountability. And "I miss you" is not change behavior. A warm text is not emotional maturity. A woman touching the door is not the same as a woman walking through it with clarity. If she says, "Hey," you can say, "Hey, hope you're doing well." That is enough. If she says, "I miss you," you can say, "I hear you. What made you reach out?" If she says, "I've been thinking about us," you can say, "I understand. What do you want to do with that?" If she says, "Can we talk?" you can say, "We can talk, but I am not rushing back into anything." These are not games. They are calm boundaries. They show openness without desperation. They invite clarity without begging. They protect your peace without attacking her. A real return can handle patience. A fake return usually cannot. If she genuinely wants something real, she will respect your pace. If she only wants emotional access, she may disappear when she realizes you are not easy anymore. Let that happen. You need truth more than temporary comfort, because temporary comfort can pull you back into the same cycle that broke you. Now, let us be clear about love. You cannot make a woman fall in love by saying the perfect words, but you can become the kind of man who makes love feel safe to grow. You do that by being honest, by being consistent, by having standards, by listening without becoming weak, by leading without controlling, by being warm without being needy, by being clear without being aggressive, by having a life that gives your presence weight, by treating her like a person, not a prize you were trying to win. That is what women remember. They remember how they feel around your nervous system. They remember whether you make them feel pressured or relaxed. They remember whether you are present or performing. They remember whether you listen or just wait to impress. They remember whether your words match your actions. They remember whether you become unstable when you do not get your way. A man who is emotionally controlled gives a woman room to trust him. A man who is needy makes her feel responsible for his peace. That is the difference. Now, do not misunderstand emotional control. It does not mean being cold. It does not mean pretending you have no feelings. It does not mean acting like you do not care. It means your feelings do not drive the car. You can care and still move slowly. You can miss someone and still not chase. You can be attracted and still keep standards. You can feel nervous and still speak clearly. You can be rejected and still stay respectful. That is control. And control is attractive because it creates safety. Not safety is weakness, safety is steadiness. A woman may enjoy excitement, but without steadiness, excitement becomes anxiety. A man who is only exciting but unstable becomes exhausting. A man who is calm, confident, and emotionally controlled becomes memorable because he does not make her responsible for managing his insecurity. That is powerful. Now, if you are heartbroken right now, you might be thinking, I do not want any woman. I want her, and that is honest. But ask yourself this: do you want her because she is good for your peace? Or do you want her because being chosen again would heal the wound of rejection? Do you miss her character? Or do you miss the version of yourself you felt like when she wanted you? Do you want a healthy relationship? Or do you want proof that you were enough? These questions matter because sometimes a man does not want the woman back. He wants his ego repaired. He wants the silence to end. He wants the rejection reversed. He wants one message to prove he still matters. But that is not love. That is pain looking for validation. Real love cannot grow where self respect is missing. If she comes back with clarity and respect, listen. If she comes back with confusion, step back. If she never comes back, keep walking. Because the goal is not to become a man who can get any woman. The goal is to become a man who does not lose himself for any woman. That is the real transformation. Now, let us talk about the line, say this to her and she will be yours. The better line is not a manipulation line. The better line is a truth line. I like you, but I do not chase confusion. That sentence is powerful when it is true, not because it controls her, because it reveals you. It says you are interested but not desperate. It says you are open but not easy. It says you can feel attraction, but you still have standards. It says your attention has value. It says you are not afraid to walk away from unclear energy. Another powerful line is I enjoy you and I want something real. If that is not where you are, I respect it. That is calm. That is direct. That is masculine. And the strongest part is not the sentence. The strongest part is that you mean it. If she is not ready, you actually respect it. If she is unclear, you actually step back. If she gives mixed signals, you actually stop overinvesting. If she chooses distance, you actually let distance exist. That is what makes the words powerful. A standard you do not live is just a performance. A standard you live becomes your identity. Now, if you want women to feel drawn to you, become a man whose life has weight. Do not be the man who only has energy for women. Be the man who has energy for his mission. Women are not your mission, they are part of life, not the center of your identity. Your mission is becoming the man you respect. Your mission is your discipline. Your mission is your purpose. Your mission is your health. Your mission is your money. Your mission is your emotional strength. Your mission is your faith or inner grounding. Your mission is your ability to love without losing yourself. When you live like that, you stop begging for attraction. You start attracting from stability. And even when a woman does not choose you, you do not collapse because your whole life was never built on her choice. That is freedom. Now, tonight, when you feel tempted to send a message from panic, do not. When you want to check if she misses you, do not. When you want to prove you are the better man, do not. When you want to chase a woman who is giving you confusion, breathe, put the phone down, stand up, drink water, walk, train, pray, work, sleep, build. Do one thing that makes tomorrow better. Because discipline is how a man tells desire, you can be felt, but you cannot lead me. That is the man women remember, not the man who begs, not the man who performs, not the man who throws compliments like he is trying to buy affection, not the man who becomes bitter when rejected, the man who is calm, the man who is clear, the man who can want her without needing to own her, the man who can lead without controlling, the man who can love without abandoning himself. The man who understands that attraction is not about tricks, it is about presence, standards, emotional control, and direction. That man is hard to manipulate. That man is hard to replace. That man is hard to ignore. That man is free. So remember this. You cannot make any woman fall in love with you through a line, but you can become the kind of man whose words carry weight because his life carries weight. You can become the kind of man who speaks clearly, listens deeply, leads calmly, respects boundaries, accepts rejection, avoids chasing, protects his peace, and chooses women from strength instead of hunger. That is what changes everything. Because the deepest truth is this: the goal is not to make her yours. The goal is to become so grounded that the right woman feels safe choosing you, and the wrong woman cannot make you lose yourself when she does not. And in the next video, you will learn the quiet signs a woman is genuinely attracted to your energy and how to respond without becoming needy, desperate, or easy to control.